My journey started about 2001 when I made the decision that I got tired of renting. I was a single mom of two kids in a location that I didn't know anyone. I didn't grow up in an apartment and I didn't want to raise my kids in an apartment. So I made the decision that I had to do something different in order to get different results. Well, one of the things that I decided to do is to leave my apartment and to downsize into a home that was less desirable. Yes, it had roaches, but guess what? I knew I wasn't going to stay there. I had to do something different, and I started my home buying journey. Well, guess what? I wanted to buy a home, but I didn't even know what my credit score was. My name is Marcia Smith. And what I did in my experience of my home buying journey, I decided that I wanted to do something different to help someone else. Because I know if this had happened to me, what about everyone else who's renting and wants to become a homeowner? I learned through my journey that everyone isn't out there to help you. And because everyone is not out there to help you, then guess what? You're giving up. You're giving up on the process and you're continuing to stay in a situation that is not going to benefit you or your family. Well, what I decided to do in 2014, I created the Home Buying Club. The Home Buying Club was my decision to do something different. I knew that there were a number of people out there who wanted to become homeowners but didn't know how. Well, guess what? Most people think that they can't afford to buy a home because they don't have enough money. But yes, they do. A lot of people think because they have bad credit and their credit cannot be helped. But guess what? Yes, they can. And I created that process where I am taking them step by step, holding their hand and showing them how they can go from nothing to something in the least amount of time. Well, what people don't understand about the home buying process, it's not just about buying a house. It's about, can you keep that house? And that's what I am doing through the Home Buying Club. I am helping you to understand where you are and taking you through a step-by-step process to help you to get to where you need to be.
My name is Angela Dawson, and I met Marcia probably the end of 2017, November, December. And a Facebook friend of mine had placed me into her Home Buying Club Facebook page. And, it's like, all right, I'll see what it's about. So I was lurking. I was a lurker on the home buying page. She would post things. I would look at it and say, oh, okay, that's nice. But then she had a class coming up, a home buying boot camp. And she put it out there that it was $59.99. And I was like, ooh, $59.99. I don't know. So, I had a little hesitation. But then a couple of days later, she posted and she said, you spend that eating out. And funny enough, I had just spent maybe twice that amount eating out somewhere just a couple of nights previously. So I said, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I'll go ahead and give it a try. And I'm glad I did. I signed up in December of 2017 and the boot camp started January of 2018. And it totally changed my life.
My name is Christy Price, and I met Marcia about 3 years ago because she's a realtor and we were looking for a home. But when my husband and I met with her, we realized immediately that Marcia was going to be more to us than just our realtor. She had so many wonderful suggestions and so many wonderful ways of saving and planning to purchase a home. And so we spent the last couple of years working with Marcia, budgeting, saving our money, prioritizing, and keeping things in perspective. And in about 18 months, which seems like a long time, but it really isn't when you're living life and you're keeping things in perspective and planning, we were able to close on our home. And so we have been in our new home for about a month, and we could not be happier.
My name is Tanya Medina, and I met Marcia through a friend who referred me to her. And at the time, my husband and I had just gotten married, and my husband and I were looking for a realtor and wanted to find someone who was very knowledgeable. So I signed up online for her home buying boot camp. And that was a very informative session. I learned quite a bit. And from that time, immediately after, I contacted Marcia, and she not only helped my husband and I get our finances in order, but she walked us through everything. And I would say from the time I did the boot camp to closing on the house was within 2.5 months. And so I'm really grateful to have met her and been exposed to all of her knowledge. And she's so helpful. And I'm grateful. From that, we are now homeowners.
I was at a point where I didn't even think I could have any savings. So honestly, every time I saved, I had to dip in it, and that was just a recurring thing because things happen. I'm a single mom, and it just always seemed like things just came up. So I got into the class, and we had daily meetings where she would give us different assignments every day. And the assignments were pretty hard, and I was really uncomfortable. But the biggest thing for me was my credit. I had lived in a different state at one point, and I ended up getting a divorce, and I moved back to Texas, where I'm from. And I just, didn't care about my credit at that point, just recently divorced. And it was kind of a bad situation. So I just threw it out the window. But I learned so much in Marcia's class. I learned how to make a budget, which I'd never done before. Budget was a foreign word to me. And I had to discipline myself because I know what I wanted for myself and for my kids. So another thing was credit. Like I said, my credit was in a really bad state. So when I started in the boot camp, my credit was in the low 5s, and now it's in the low 7s, and I'm talking within like 6 months. So you have to be dedicated, you have to do the work. And I never dreamed that I would get to the place where I could say I'm getting ready to close on my dream home, and that's where I am right now. So that $59.99 turned into $200,000 plus for me. And it's just been amazing, and I just give thanks and glory to God and for Him putting Marcia into my path, into my life, because it's turned my entire life around. 2018 has been unlike any other year for me. It's been amazing, and I'm just excited for everything else to come.
To be a homeowner feels wonderful. To get out of the rat race of being a renter, and you'd be amazed once you sit down and actually go through your finances how much you shell out on a rental property, that if you just get your finances in order, get your money, pay attention to what's going out, and expenses of eating out or treating yourself to things, if you just kind of scale back and you actually tally up everything, you realize, okay, I can afford a home. And so it just feels good now knowing, the money shelling out every month is actually towards something that we own.
One of the things Marcia's program helped us to discover is how our money was being spent, where our money was going every month. And once you have an idea of how you are spending money, you can make better decisions on how you want to spend it. And so before Marcia, we didn't have those thoughts. We were just kind of living day by day, not really planning for anything. And then since being a part of the program, we were able to become a lot more directive. So if you're looking to buy a home, but even more than just buying a home, if you're looking to change your life, if you're looking to expand how you think about your finances and how you plan for your future and how you plan for building wealth, then you definitely need to talk to Marcia. She's a coach. She is a motivator. She's not easy, so you got to be ready. It's not a game. It's serious business. But once you've gotten through the program, you can look back and just be amazed at how much you've been able to accomplish with her help.
Well, during my home buying journey, I didn't think I could buy a home. But what I did was I did the research on my own, and eventually I closed on my home. And I closed on not just any house, but I closed on my dream house. And now me and my kids are no longer renters. We are homeowners. And that's what I want to also be able to help you to do, become a homeowner. Don't think that you can buy a home because you're a single parent. I was there. I was a single mom. I didn't have any support. I didn't have anyone to help me but my own strength and the strength of the good Lord. And when I got done, I was able to achieve homeownership. And when I achieved homeownership, I made the decision that day that I was going to do something different and I was going to help others to do the same thing. So if you're interested in becoming a homeowner, then I definitely applaud you to think about joining the Home Buying Boot Camp and see how I can help you change your life.